Hey, it's been a little bit since I last did a recordy. I'm working on a Frost video, that's why. Is it getting there? Yes. Hopefully that'll be done in like the next 2 or 3 days. Hopefully, maybe, please, hopefully. Anyway, we're just gonna play this little Charizard team that I put together because I thought, you know what, I want to do more than Parastrap because I don't play Parastrap that often, but I post a lot of Parastrap videos. So let's diversify a little bit. Also, I'm not playing the Frostlast video team because I want the Frostlast team for the Frostlast video. Anyway, we're looking at a pretty familiar team actually. That's basically the same 6 I'm running on my Frostlast team, sub Charizard and Basculegion, but not so important. Really what I'm thinking about here is, how do I get rid of Garchomp? Because that's the one that really messes me up here, isn't it? Like, King Gambit can be scary, but I've covered pretty thoroughly for it. I definitely want Rotom, because Rotom's just really solid into this team. I think I'm happy to start there. The question is, what do you put next to Rotom? Like, I think Venusaur next to Rotom looks really nice. I think Hydreigon actually looks pretty nice as well. The issue with Hydreigon is that it's not got any well, it actually does have some crazy matchups. I think I want Hydreigon in the back. So I'll go Venusaur Charizard with Dragon in the back. The idea is that if I can get rid of Garchomp and Whimsicott, then Hydreigon can probably close out this game using Dark Pulse to get rid of Pokemon like the Basculegion. That's the idea, at least. Glimmora Whimsicott, I probably should have seen this coming. It is like the default lead for this team, mostly because it is a great lead. There are a few options I have here. I like Electro Web a lot here because you can get a little bit of damage on both. Like getting rid of Whimsicott right here is my lowest priority. The highest priority is getting rid of Glimmora being pretty solid into my team. So if I can get Glimmora to -1 and then set a Tailwind later in the battle, I think that's one way to win. Alternatively, I could just go for the KO, and I actually really don't mind that at all. Okay, so they switch Whimsicott, that's interesting. To Garchomp, I think that makes sense. Sludge Bomb onto Rotom, this shouldn't do too much. Yeah, not crazy amounts. Earth Power onto Glimmora, straight to the Sash. The real concern is, now that I'm taking Glimmora out, I can't deal with Garchomp as smoothly as I'd like to. I mean, if I miss... No, I hit. Well, it's not a bad thing, because Glimmora is the one Pokemon that really denies Charizard any chance to be useful, and I do have answers for Garchomp in the back. In an ideal world, they'll send in Charizard or something random like that. They won't, but... Oh! They did! That's exactly what they did. Interesting. Because, yeah, setting up the sun here probably isn't that good for them, is it? Because really what I want to do is I want to Will-O-Wisp the Garchomp and then probably just protect Venusaur. Because if I get Garchomp to -1, then I can just start spamming Electro Web and do little bits of damage across the board and then just use my back 2 to beat Garchomp. So they do Mega Evolve Charizard here. I think that's an interesting choice. They probably know that I'm not Scarf. Actually, they definitely know because I had the leftovers activate, so it's not an information game here. What I want to see is Weather Bolt, Earthquake, or Rock Slide. Yeah, not really what I wanted to see, but I do survive. Heat Wave, that's not great. I mean, with all the special defense that my Rotom has, I might survive here. Nope. That really sucks. Yeah, that's not ideal. So, what's my speed set again? Yeah, okay. So I could send Hydreigon in here and just go like Sludge Bomb, Charizard, Tailwind. Yeah, I think I can beat Charizard in a 1v1. My Charizard has moderate bulk, so I should be fine. So I'll send in Hydreigon. I can't really cover for Sash Garchomp here, can I? I don't think I can. Oh my god, I have the wrong moves. There it is. Okay. If I've got the wrong moves, then let's think about how I can best change this position. I'd love to make the call that they switch Garchomp out here, but I don't think that's very likely. One option is just to double Garchomp with Sludge Bomb, Draco Meteor, and just guarantee something. But if I'm going to go for that play, I should go all in and put the Draco Meteor on Charizard. So I don't love that. I don't love either play, to be honest, but you know what, I'll go for the middle ground, which is to double Garchomp with with that, because if they switch to Whimsicott, I'd love to get rid of it. That's the big step that I need to take. Oh yeah, wait, Sludge Bomb moves first. It's perfect. I kind of forgot that I was getting something of value if I got the call right. Because it wasn't like I was just losing attack regardless. So that's actually a pretty safe play now that I look at it. Cool, that actually is a massive deal, because I assume the Heat Wave, they hit both, so bye-bye Venusaur, no way I'd live that. The question now is, how do I cleanly beat the Garchomp? I don't think Draco Meteor KOs at this point. I'd have to check. If I can just get the Draco Meteor into Garchomp, I can probably Heat Wave through this team. I guess my concern is that if I have to take 2 attacks with Charizard, I'm definitely going to lose. How do I guarantee that I only take 1 attack? I don't think that's a possibility there. So I think I go Draco and Weather Ball the Charizard. The idea is that I'm probably losing this game regardless, but if they miss Rock Slide or something like that, then I have a chance to win. Okay, so I do move first. If I get a crit or if I just already KO, then I'm in a really great spot. Okay, so I did need a critical hit there. That's good to know. I want to see Dragon Claw really bad. Actually, if I see Dragon Claw, that also should result in the winning position. Rock Slide, but they do miss. Hydreigon. I mean, I should survive this. I'm trained for it. So, this is interesting. Heat Wave does miss one of my Pokemon. Okay. That's a big miss, because I should take the Heat Wave. Easily. Holy, this is getting really scary. So, how much does Weather Ball do? It's enough to KO. I think that's enough to seal the game. Critical hit may be needed. I wouldn't know, to be honest. Am I in range of Rock Slide is the big question with Hydreigon, because if Hydreigon takes a Rock Slide, then I can just click Draco Meteor and then go into Dark Pulse. I mean, regardless of how you look at it, that this is the right play, because I might be able to KO with Weather Ball, because I know it does a lot. Okay, so Garchomp doesn't go down. That was kind of what we expected. They do Rock Slide. As long as one of my Pokemon survives here, I should be fine. Because I don't think Garchomp has a Dark Pulse in it, to be honest. I think that's the ultimate problem for them. Like, how do you take the Dark Pulse now? Yeah, I move first and I KO, right? After doing all of that, that was way closer than I would have liked. With the benefit of hindsight, I don't know that Tailwind would have changed the outcome of this game much, but it would have certainly made it a lot easier, because I could have just targeted my attacks in much more deliberate ways, and I wouldn't have had to be like, ooh, do I take this attack? Do I take this attack? It would have been a lot easier, I'll say it. I'm going to quickly change the move, and I'll see you in a second. Okay, I'm back with the correct moves this time. It makes a big difference, trust. Weird Ear, what are you doing here, dear? Sorry, that was terrible. I mean, this doesn't look like a bad matchup, right? Like, Arcanine looks like it probably gets benched here again, but even then, like, it actually looks solid, because if you get Pokemon like Scizor or Weird Ear to -1, then Arcanine should beat them. Hydreigon again looks pretty solid, because you can just Draco Meteor to burst through Archaludon and Feraligatr. I wonder what the Mega Evolution is. Like, I think you pretty much always bring Feraligatr is my assumption. I'm trying to figure out what the best way to get around that is. One option is to lead 1-2 and just basically say if you want to get the rain going, then you'll have to take a risk. Potentially one that you can't afford either, because, oh, they could set Trick Room. That's their big claim to fame here. Okay. I think I'm okay with these 4. Actually, no, I'm going to change that to Hydreigon again. Running it back with the same 4. I mean, Hydreigon looks pretty solid here. If they have Scizor, then it does look bad. But I don't think they're bringing Scizor into a team with 2 fire types. I don't think that's a real option. I don't think there's no way, right? I guess there is a way. Okay. I don't have to take on a lot of risk here, because I can always go Weather Ball, Weird Ear, Sludge Bomb, Weird Ear, and I don't think there's actually a lot they can do here. Because if I get Weird Ear in one turn while they try to set Trick Room, then suddenly I have speed advantage the whole time. At that point, having the weather advantage, which they just gave up, wouldn't have mattered. Because It's just going to be weirder. It goes down. Politoed's completely out of position. I can Scorching Sands, Solar Beam to get rid of it. Not Solar Beam, Energy Ball. I have no clue what their game plan is, but I know it's not working. Critical hit is really nice, actually. And the poison, holy. Venusaur on overtime right now, holy. Weather Ball comes through. I assume this is a KO, because Weather Ball is ridiculous. Yeah. I would assume that the Sludge Bomb crit was necessary, because that didn't feel like a crit until it said crit. So, that must have been a very bulky Weird Ear. Also, switching Politoed in there was just not the right thing to do. I assumed they were going to slow play, and then I could click like Heat Wave, Earth Power into the Scizor. But that didn't end up even being necessary. I mean, my guess is that it's Chlorophyll on the Venusaur. I don't know there's a lot I can do about it. I think my safest play is to Heat Wave and cover basically every switch, right? Yeah, you bring in Scizor, you bring in Scizor. Yeah, it has to be Scizor if you want to switch. So I don't even have to cover that aggressively. I could just go Heat Wave, Energy Ball to try and get the Politoed. They do switch Politoed, but if I get a Heat Wave off, it's basically over. Okay, so they protect Venusaur. I think that's the end of the game there. If I miss, it could get a bit dicey, but I imagine Energy Ball does enough damage. Yeah, honestly, that might be enough. Like, even if you get... Yeah, okay, now it is. It doesn't even matter. I can miss here and that'd be fine. Because they just don't have the survivability. Also, they never had the position to switch out, which is not ideal. That's partially why Charizard's like the strongest Pokemon in the format. It's very, very difficult to reposition when you have to take a hit along the way, because Charizard does ridiculous damage. So getting caught in a position where you just can't do a lot of damage, it's kind of just a death sentence. I can switch to Politoed, switch to Rotom, and Energy Ball the Politoed. We're about to see Charizard probably take every KO. So I don't think I'm going to get Politoed before Charizard gets back to the field. Oh, but I might be able to get it with Volt Switch, so it's not actually... It'll probably be 3 Charizard KOs. Okay, so they Mega Evolve their Venusaur, not Charizard. Damn. So it's going to be massively bulky. It's going to be really difficult to get rid of quickly. The issue is I have Charizard in the back, and if I get Charizard into position, it's basically over. Sludge Bomb onto Rotom. Yeah, not a lot of damage. The poison's annoying, but... I mean, after crit poison on the Weird Ear, I think that's a very respectable situation to be in. The Blizzard's certainly questionable. Because I'm pretty sure Ice Beam just does more damage, and you don't run the risk of missing. You do lose the spread damage, but also, how valuable is that here? I could go for Electro Web if I really cared, but I don't, to be honest. I mean, one option is to Will-O-Wisp Venusaur. I'm looking for all these plays, and none of them matter. I can just switch and hard switch Venusaur, Volt Switch. That's 100% safe. There's nothing they can do about it. I don't think double crit into my Charizard would be enough to change the outcome of this game. That's how confident I am. They'd have to hard read it, get it, bang on the money, and I don't think that's good enough even if they do get it. Volt Switch fails because of the Protect. What a shame. We see Giga Drain onto Rotom to get the KO, but I just don't see what you're going to do now. Because maybe the speed interactions go your way while the sun isn't up, but now they definitely don't. Because I can send in Venusaur, I can just say, well, come and get it. What are you going to do? I move first. I don't want to Protect here, I'll say that. Energy Ball. I don't even have to take any risks here. I can just Weather Ball, but I don't need to gamble on a potential miss with Heat Wave. I feel like this game is pretty comfortably over, since the moment that I get to attack Venusaur twice, there is absolutely zero chance that they will survive an attack. And they've now given me that position for free. So I can just Sludge Bomb, Weather Ball, and then they're done. That's it. Because yeah, there's no way Mega Venusaur is gonna be beating Charizard, let alone Charizard plus a Hydreigon in the back and a Venusaur on the field. Like, there's just nothing they can do. Honestly, that Sludge Bomb does a lot. Like, if there's any chance that they take one Weather Ball, it's all gone now. Yeah, bye-bye Venusaur. Holy. I threw this team together in like 20-30 minutes. Like, I looked at the Turin special event day 2 usage. I took the top 3 Pokemon. That was King Gambit, Basculegion, and Garchomp. And I basically just went, you know what? I'll spec to beat those 3, and then I'll look at the top 3 Megas. That was Charizard, Floette, and Aerodactyl, and I'll spec to beat those 3. And this is the team that I ended up getting, and it's really good. Like, it's not like it's particularly anti-meta, but it just has all the right tools to be stable and strong in a lot of the matchups. So I'm very proud of this little experiment. Do I care to play Charizard that much? No. Am I more inclined to play Charizard now that it feels this good? Yeah, a little bit. To be honest, it feels pretty great, so... Ooh, okay. Wait a minute. This feels like a free eats matchup. Because I don't know what they're supposed to do about Arcanine in the Sun. Like, their Tyranitar and Lycanroc do provide broad threat to my team, since I have the Charizard. But also, Arcanine plus Venusaur just does so much, because Arcanine beats Volcarona, Arcanine beats Aegislash, Arcanine beats Sinistcha, Arcanine in the Sun should beat Floette. I really struggle to see how they're going to get this to work. I could lead Venusaur Rotom with Arcanine Charizard in the back. The idea is that you'd Volt Switch into the right position, maybe you Will-O-Wisp to maximize the value of Intimidate, just taking a physical attacker and putting them all the way into the ground. So it's for that one turn you're forcing the switch and you guarantee value down the line with the burn. You know what, I like that actually, because I like the idea of burning an important physical attacker on turn 1 and then intimidating it and just saying, nope, you're done. You're just not going to contribute to the battle in a way that matters anymore. Especially if that Pokemon's like Tyranitar or Lycanroc that can get rid of Charizard in 1 turn. Potentially getting a burn on one of those Pokemon could result in Charizard surviving for you know, an extra turn or 2, which is sometimes the difference maker. And just to add to that, the addition of Earth Power and Scorching Sands just makes this really hard for the opponent. Because I just have all the tools to play this the way I want to. That's Lycanroc Floette, so we can probably guess that they have Sinistcha in the back based on that, which I don't mind at all. The real question is, well, okay, let's make an assumption for now that it's Tyranitar Sinistcha in the back, and that Floette will be Mega Evolving. I don't think there's really any reason to believe that wouldn't be true. The real question is, can I get away with doubling the Lycanroc? I think I can, because 2 attacks onto Lycanroc doesn't seem like a very risky play here. Tyranitar switching? Nice. I guess I want to see Rock Slide, if anything. Yeah, that's fine. Like, I don't want to get flinched, but at the same time, I think I can live with it. Energy Ball goes off successfully. That's going to be straight to the Sash. Never mind, it's not going to be straight to the Sash. That's kind of cray-cray. The flinch isn't my favorite, but I can live with it. It does mean that I need to play the position differently now. One option is to Sludge Bomb into Lycanroc and just cover the Floette switch. The other question, well, actually, no, you can Earth Power and cover everything but Sinistcha, but I don't think Sinistcha is switching in here. Yeah, actually, I don't hate Earth Power the Lycanroc and Will-O-Wisp into Tyranitar, since I imagine Lycanroc doesn't... Oh, Lycanroc does stay in. Okay, so they miss both. Wow. Earth Power covers the switch, and it gets the Lycanroc. Lovely. I don't love Rock Slide for a million different reasons. The fact that it can miss is the big one. Flinches are really annoying, but it's kind of a balanced mechanic where you will eventually get the flinches that you want. Also, getting the burn there is massive, because Tyranitar is just going to be so hard to use now. This time Rock Slide hits both, but the burn does a lot of work to make this a much easier matchup. Because Tyranitar is the one Pokemon that can actually stop me from just sweeping with Charizard, right? The real question is, what are they going to send out now, and can that beat Charizard? Because I don't think they have anything that can beat Charizard now. Well, they still have... I'm not going to say nothing, because saying nothing would be very much the best way to lose. I don't much love to switch here, because I think Charizard plus Arcanine should beat Tyranitar. The real question is, can I trap something on... Yeah, okay, because they have Floette in the back. That's the big detail, so I probably want to keep Venusaur safe. Maybe? Maybe. Probably not, actually. I don't really care. I actually don't hate just ripping Electro Web and Energy Ball to Tyranitar. They do move first, so that probably is the end of Venusaur. Yeah, it is. I think I move first, don't I? Yep. I hit both. That's going to be a big deal since getting Tyranitar chipped down and getting the speed drop just makes everything that little bit easier. I mean, I'm racking up lots of damage, though. That's the part that's concerning me, is that I am slowly but surely ending up in a position where I don't have a lot of HP to use to actually close the game out. I mean, -1 burnt Tyranitar. How much can that really do? Right? I don't know what they're going to be doing here, but at this point, Rock Slide plus Electro Web is probably just the easy and safe play, because I'd never want to switch Charizard in on a turn like this, because taking a Rock Slide would just be the end of the game right then and there. I don't think I have the resources at that point. Rock Slide comes through. That's actually really good damage on the Tyranitar. Electro Web comes through. It's blocked. In an ideal world, I'm flinching here to make this super clean. Oh my lord. I'm not sure if it's just like a positive variance thing that I've unintentionally built into the team. Maybe I'm just having a particularly lucky day, but I have just been hitting every type of luck that I possibly can. The best part is there's no reason for me to deviate, because Volcarona can't damage Arcanine, and it certainly can't do that in the sun, not the sun, in the sand. Rock Slide comes through. That's the end of Volcarona. That also means that Tyranitar will be taking more damage on the, what's it called? The Electro Web. That could end up mattering with the Burn Chip, but it won't. Didn't do enough damage. That's kind of a shame. Jesus. I don't even know what to say now. Critical hit, flinch, and flinch. That's the type of game that I haven't just like rage quit from. Because like there's just nothing to be done there. I mean, GG's to the opponent. Like, I think they did more or less everything they could to make that a close game, but that was just absurd, right? How often do you get to say, yeah, I crit, I flinched, I flinched, I crit, I flinched, I did everything. Didn't miss any moves that mattered. Didn't get hit with any bad luck that mattered. Like, that was just a completely lopsided game in terms of luck. Like, I kind of feel for them, because that's the type of game that would make me destroy my whole desk. That's where you hear all the slamming and the screaming and the swearing and the stuff like that. So kudos to them for playing it out that far when the game just continuously beat them down with this terrible luck, saying no, you're gonna lose. That's how it is. It's not always the most fun when that happens, I'll be honest. It's pretty miserable when that happens, actually. You know, for a team that I threw together in like 30 minutes, I am very, very proud of the fact that I had all the tools to win all 3 games. That feels pretty good. Sorry, King Gambit, you didn't get to see the battlefield once. I'm not sure if that's a bad thing, but it's certainly a thing. Now, the Charizard with Scorching Sands felt really good. Didn't click Scorching Sands, but the ability to click it definitely felt like it was the right tool in a few places. So I definitely rate Scorching Sands pretty highly. But also, if you get your Charizard into a solid position where the opponent has to reposition and take a hit from Charizard, that's kind of where it thrives. And I think Rotom and Venusaur do a great job enabling that, because, especially in Best of 1, you don't know what moves I'll be clicking. So you might be saying, I need to switch to this Pokemon or that Pokemon to deal with Sleep Powder and Weather Ball and Heat Wave. So you're trying to cover all these options and it just turns out that you can't afford to do all of that. You have to make the hard read, you have to get it right, and I think that's where Charizard thrives, is where the opponent has to get that call, because there's going to be a ton of times where the opponent goes for the call and just doesn't get it. So Charizard really does force a unique level of precision from your opponent, which is pretty fun to play, in my opinion. Both play against and play with, I should say. Also, Chlorophyll Venusaur, I am so sad that this didn't stay mega popular in the format, because I love Citrus Berry Chlorophyll Venusaur. It feels so good, because you still have the speed to be a legitimate threat, and you have the relative bulk with a Citrus Berry, so that if you run into a random Pokemon like, you know, Garchomp, that thing probably does two-shot you, but now you have the berry backing that up. Maybe the bulk's also playing a big role in there, and then suddenly you're looking at a Garchomp that goes down, you know, maybe 3 or 4 hits, and you're moving first, and they're not getting you in 3 hits, so I think it's pretty nice. Like, it's a set that definitely works, and it also sort of thrives on basic defensive answers to Venusaur, where you're like, the Archaladon, it's going to switch in, so I can cover that with Earth Power, or I can cover specific switches with Sludge Bomb instead of clicking the more optimal Energy Ball for that one specific Pokemon. We saw that with the Lycanroc using Earth Power, which is in theory the slightly less, I guess, optimized move, but it covered for specific options, which was very nice. So that's something I really like about Venusaur, is just how easily you can cover some of the weirder options in a battle where you're like, maybe they will switch. And then you go, if I click that button and they do switch, suddenly you look really good. So I've very much been loving Venusaur. The whole format, it's a great Pokemon. Arcanine! Didn't really see a lot of battle time with Arcanine, but also it was very useful where I needed it. Like, being able to get the Tyranitar, which was the only threat to my Charizard, burnt and at -1, was so useful because you could just start spamming Rock Slide, Electro Web, and eventually when Charizard hits the field, you can say, well, can Floette and burnt -1 Tyranitar do this? I don't think it can, because you click Scorching Sands, you get rid of the Tyranitar, and then you sweep. And you can only do that because of Arcanine. We didn't get to see it, but the synergy with, well, it's not really a synergy, but the basic interaction with Fire-type moves in the Sun makes a slightly bulkier Arcanine more valid, because you can be like, well, I just click Sun Boosted Flare Blitz, so it doesn't really matter because I'm getting a massive power boost, so I don't have to be adamant with tons of points. I can afford to save some of those points to use the Shuka Berry and survive all the important ground type attacks, which is really nice. Almay didn't have the right move in game 1, but he still clutched up, so good job Hydreigon. I actually really liked it because being able to just click big damage button over and over again was actually really useful into that Garchomp, which, you know, it would have been easier with a Tailwind, but also the Tailwind wasn't necessary. So you can kind of take that Tailwind and it can be that nebulous move that you do whatever you want with. Like, if you think back to like Joe Ugarte's Sand Team, you kind of thinking maybe Heat Wave looks really good on this team, maybe Earth Power looks really good on this team. There are tons of options that make a lot of sense, and that's part of what makes Hydreigon such an interesting Pokemon in the format, because you can just say, well, I can click Snarl, I can click Earth Power, I can click Focus Blast, I can click Heat Wave, I can click Dragon Pulse. They're all great options, and you won't necessarily know what the opponent intends to do or how they intend to do it until it's too late. Also with Hydreigon, it's also another Pokemon that's super flexible on the item, because you could also be running Scarf on the set. You could also be running Sash like I am. You could run Dragon Fang. That's an item I'm pretty fond of. They're all great options, so it's another Pokemon that you can't really cover for all that easily. Similar to Charizard, you're forced to make the specific read, get it right, and potentially sometimes get lucky, since, you know, you hit one Draco Meteor, maybe the opponent calls you out, and you waste that initial Draco Meteor, your massive burst attack, but then you get the call right on the next turn, and then you crit them. So I think that's maybe one element of the positive variance in this team, is just saying, as long as you make the optimal, or at least a sound play every turn, then the variance can really carry you to a win, where with other teams you might need to make consistently better plays. Like, imagine Parastrap. You can't get away with neutral turns with Parastrap. You have to be going positive essentially every turn, with maybe a little bit of wriggle room, but more often than not, there's a bunch of teams that'll be like, well, if you get, 2 or 3 turns wrong, that's it. GG's. But I feel like this team thrived on the position of saying, well, I got a bunch of turns correct, or I continuously made solid plays over and over and over again, and those little things like connecting every Electro Web, like connecting every Will-O-Wisp, like connecting every Rock Slide, like getting the Rock Slide flinches, all those things sort of add up because you're just continuously making those solid plays. Like, we think back to Game 3 where the solid play was just try and get rid of the Lycanroc, because the flinch is annoying, but if I get rid of Lycanroc, then suddenly that's the big answer to Charizard dealt with, right? Because from there you can go, well, Lycanroc's gone, so that's one element of flinching dealt with, and then you can start Will-O-Wisping and switching and setting up that Charizard. So while so many moves on this team can miss, while so many of these moves can have negative variants. It's kind of like a two-way street where continuously making solid plays, continuously finding ways to cover more options will result in that, I guess in positions where good luck is more impactful, as opposed to, you know, being behind all game and then hitting a crit that maybe gets you back into it. So that's kind of my view of the team. Maybe it's warped by the freakishly good luck that I had today, but it could also just be that, again, being in those good positions and making the right plays continuously results in those instances of luck making a bigger difference. So I can't say for sure. I think the team's pretty good. You'll have to tell me what you think of it in the comments below. Get to work. I'm watching those comments. I'm watching them constantly. So, again, get to work. If you like the video, drop a like, because I like seeing the yippee like button go up. That makes me feel happy. Share this to one friend, maybe two friends, because it makes a pretty big difference. You ever hear that saying about pyramid schemes, you know? Share this scam with 5 people, blah, 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 blah. You can only do that 14 times before you're out of people. So if you send this to one person and they send this to another person, eventually we're going to run out of people pretty quickly, and I'm going to be the greatest YouTuber of all time. Now, it is occurring to me that you would need to be doing this in twos for this little share the video type thing to actually, you know, like infect the earth. Math was never really my strong suit, except for when it was. You know, I'm just that guy. So, let me reiterate. If you like the video, like it. Like it by liking the video with the like button. I hope I said like enough there to get your attention. Also, if you like the video, share it with 2 people. Because if everybody shares it with 2 people, it'll only be like 19 loops before I've got like 7 billion views. So, get to work. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe, because I like seeing that number go up. It's the most encouraging number you can see. That's about it for me, though. At this point, if I say anything else, I'm going to be yapping and yapping and yapping. Actually, I'm doing that right now. Bye-bye.